Hi, my name is Tim Erskine, and today I'm doing my persuasive speech on drunk driving. Let me just go ahead and scan my audience for you first. Alright, so today I'm going to persuade you that under no circumstances should one drive impaired or should you get into a car with someone who is under the influence of alcohol. So, first and foremost, I'm going to start with a poem. It's an excerpt from a poem called Death of an Innocent by an unknown author found on alcohol.com. This is my visual aid here. Okay, the title is Death of an Innocent. Someone should have told him, Mom, not to drink and drive. If only they had told him, Mom, I would still be alive. My breath is getting shorter, Mom. I'm becoming very scared. Please don't cry for me, Mom. When I needed you, you were always there. I have one last question, Mom, before I say goodbye. I didn't drink and drive, so why am I the one to die? So, today I will persuade you that under no circumstances should one drive impaired or get into a car with someone who has been under the influence of alcohol. Death by drunk driving is all too common, yet preventable occurrence that affects any person who drives a vehicle, as they could be the victim of this crime. Today I'm going to do the following. First, inform you of the statistics of this topic and the effects of alcohol. Second, provide you with the consequences already put in place regarding drunk driving and how the police determines them. And finally, I'm going to tell you what you can do to limit this problem. So let's first learn about drunk driving to help us better understand the problem at hand. Death by drunk driving affects not only the life of the victim, but the life of the victim's family and friends, and the life of the person who chose to drink and drive, and the life of the family of the person who drank and drive. So, a statistic for you. 3,637 people in Ohio alone were killed in crashes involving drunk drivers, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. This was the age group from 21 to 34, and it was mostly in males. So, let's discuss why it's impossible for one to drink and operate a vehicle. Many people believe they can drink and operate a vehicle just fine. However, alcohol affects all people in the following ways, making them virtually incapable of doing such a thing. First and foremost, alcohol is a depressant, thus it makes your brain work slower, and just overall, your clinical judgment is not as good. So according to NCADD, your judgment, concentration, comprehension, coordination, visual acuity, and reaction time are all impaired while you are drinking. Therefore, it would be impossible to operate a vehicle. Luckily for us, there are already some laws put in place to minimize drinking and driving. Police may go through a series of sobriety tests to determine if a driver is drunk, but the most accurate of all of these is a blood alcohol test, furthermore known as BAC. According to NOLO, via drivinglogs.org, for someone who is 21 years old, the legal BAC would be under 0.08, and for someone who is under 21 years old, the legal BAC would be 0.02. So I'm going to go ahead and show the drink content chart. Sorry. Or no, I'm actually just going to talk about drink content and then show you a chart about alcohol beverage for females and males. So a 12 fluid ounce beer glass, a 5 ounce glass of wine, and a 1.5 fluid ounce shot are all the same equivalent. So for an average female, 3 drinks gets them intoxicated, and for an average male, 4 to 5 drinks gets them intoxicated, and that would put them past the legal limit of 0.08. Now that we know the legal limits and the parameters, what happens if a person is to exceed these? The legal system continues to generate severe punishments that accompany the act of drunk driving, including the following. The first offense could get you 3 days to 6 months in jail, a $250 to $1,000 fine, and a 6-month to 3-year license suspension. All just depends on the severity of the DUI. And then, with multiple, as you get more offenses, it could result in 60 days to 1 year in jail, and an $800 to $10,000 fine, and then 3 years to a permanent license removal. And this all just depends on how many DUIs and the severity of them. So, to avoid becoming another drinking and driving statistic, use an alternative method to get home. Police, unfortunately, they don't always detect the cases before they happen. It's usually already after it happens. So that means it's our duty to try to stop drinking and driving. So obviously the first easiest solution would be don't drive. However, if you're somewhere and you see that someone's going to drive, you could try to be a designated driver or find one for them. You could offer to get them a taxi. And then nowadays we have Uber, which is extremely popular and very available in most areas. And then there's also parents that you could call. I know a lot of people don't want to, but you don't want someone drinking and driving. So keep in mind that you will most likely be on the road at the same time as others leaving a party where you were at. So it's important that you know that they're not driving intoxicated. State Farm offers the following info when dealing with others. These are some tips for you. You could hide their keys. You could stop serving drinks before the party ends to try to make them not drunk when they leave. And then you could also offer them a place to stay. That way they don't have to drink and drive. So, in conclusion, let us look again at what we reviewed about the severity of drunk driving. While wrapping up this speech, I hope I have accomplished the following. First, informed you of the statistics on this topic and and the effects of alcohol. Second, provide you with the consequences already put in place of drunk driving and how the police determine these. And finally, tell you what you can do to limit this problem. Before we part, I would like to share with you the touching story of Chili Vasquez, found by ABC News. Okay, so Chili Vasquez, she was a 7-year-old girl. Now, she looks happy in this photo, but on this fatal day, she was not. She was on her way to her 8th birthday party. It was about 3 days prior. There was a gentleman driving. His name was Jeremy Solis. He had a .23 BAC level, which was 3 times the legal limit. So this gentleman hit this lady and made her a paraplegic for life. So the consequences of driving or drunk driving can affect everyone, not only yourself. So in conclusion, I urge you not only to think of how drunk driving can affect your life, but also of how it can affect someone else's. Thank you.